Yeah. All right, everyone, welcome back for our session on ICT for health and welfare. So there's going to be two sessions on this topic. This is the first one. And our first speaker is Mr. Ramon Von Cliff Arbaro. He's from the Department of Science and Technology from the Advanced Science and Technology Institute in the Republic of Philippines. Please go ahead.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Engineer Ramon Raro from the Department of Science and Technology, Advanced Science and Technology Institute, or DOST-ASTI from the Republic of the Philippines. So we are here to talk about how we can improve the emergency response of vehicles like ambulances and fire trucks. So to begin, I hope we all agree that emergency response is a critical service for civilians. And I hope we all actually agree that it is equally important to bring these emergency response vehicles in a timely manner into our incident sites or accident sites. So to do this, what we can do is to prioritize these emergency response vehicles in the intersections, especially during traffic. And in the Philippines, the law actually allows ERVs to be prioritized in intersections, even during traffic. However, the mechanisms existing in the Philippines is dangerous and risky. So why is this so? Typically in the Philippines, the way to prioritize emergency response vehicles is by enforcers doing what we call countermanding of traffic lights. This involves enforcers giving or overriding instructions given by the traffic lights. And this is very dangerous because, especially if incoming traffic is not aware of this prioritization, then as the ERV is crossing the intersection, collisions can happen. So, another problem that is happening in emergency response in the Philippines is that the Philippines actually dedicated a bus lane in the Philippines to prioritize mass transport. And ambulances and emergency response vehicles are allowed to pass through. However, they are only allowed to pass through these bus lanes if they are in an emergency response. And some drivers tend to abuse this privilege. So given these challenges and problems, we have the target objectives we have to solve. Number one, we have to develop a system for emergency response, vehicles, and traffic infrastructure to communicate and coordinate. And second one, we have to facilitate coordination and information exchange between emergency response components in a centralized platform. So to satisfy the first target objective, we propose two solutions. Number one is vehicle to everything or V2X, and the second one is computer vision. To begin, V2X or vehicle to everything is an automotive wireless communication standard that allows vehicles to wirelessly communicate with all other road users. So this can be vehicles, this can be pedestrians, this can be traffic infrastructures like our traffic lights. So for V2X, we have what we call onboard units that are equipped on our vehicles, and we have what we call the roadside units or RSU, which can be equipped to our traffic infrastructure like traffic lights. So the second solution is what we call computer vision. And computer vision uses machine learning to interpret visual data captured from cameras. So with this, computer vision can serve as a backup detection for emergency response vehicles. And with these solutions, some of the important use cases we can do, or some useful things we can do, is number one, we can do automated ERV prioritization. Since vehicles can now communicate with traffic infrastructure, the traffic infrastructure can now intelligently perform traffic controls such that it can prioritize emergency vehicles like ambulances. And then the second application is route preemption and navigation assist. Typically, emergency response relies on the expertise of the drivers to navigate the roads, especially during traffic. But with these solutions, we can actually assist them in navigation and identifying an optimal route, especially going to the hospital. Then, to satisfy the second target, we need to use these technologies and integrate them in a centralized platform. So this centralized platform connects everything that's concerned with emergency response. It connects ground units like ambulances. It connects dispatchers like emergency response units. It also connects traffic management and traffic infrastructures like our traffic lights. And especially, it also connects hospitals to the whole system. So this is the diagram of how it can work together. And then, due to the large scale of the potential deployment of this technology, so what we did first was to conduct simulations. And using these simulations, we can benchmark how the proposed solutions perform compared to normal procedures. And then we can see and quantify what improvements we can get. So as you can see here on the table, the first column lists the typical procedures or steps during emergency response. And then the second column tells us how much resources or how much time it takes for each step to happen. And the third column shows us how the solutions are able to improve the resources taken and the time it takes for it to happen. And as we can see, we are able to reduce the total response time by at least 27% and decrease fuel consumption by 11%. Now, this is important because it is not only a matter of it's not only a matter of health and safety, but it can also be a matter of economics and environmental impact. Because what we can see is by actually saving fuel, we are actually able to reduce the carbon footprint of travel times of these vehicles by a measurable amount. So it's not only a matter of optimizing travel time, but also reducing the environmental impact. And so far, what I was able to show you are the technological advances of this or benefits of this technology. But ultimately, we also want to impact, we want to have social impact as well. And this is especially because road accidents is not only a matter of health and safety, but also of economy. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, road accidents is still a large part of contributing factors to mortality in Filipinos. And it's not only a matter of economy because according to a study by the World Bank, countries in Asia can benefit by reducing the deaths due to road accidents by half. And for the Philippines, it is projected to have an impact of 7% growth in GDP. So what we want to say here is that it's not only a matter of health and safety, but also an economic one. So these are some of the activities that we were able to do during the initial stages of the project. So what we are showing here is some data gathering activities because we want to develop a computer vision model that's specific to the Philippines. Of course, I think some of you are familiar that we have local or endemic vehicle types in the Philippines, like the jeepneys and the tricycles. So we have to make a computer vision model that accommodates them as well. And then we actually have started to characterize some commercial off-the-shelf V2X devices so we can see whether or how it can help the Philippine road or traffic condition. So here we are showing some tests we were able to do with in partnership of the academe. So this also shows the importance of partnership between the academe and the government to solve national problems. So, of course, it's not only a one agency solution, but we also have to rely on other agencies in the government since this is a collaborative activity which results to a national improvement. So here, we're just showing how we are conducting meetings and coordinations with other local government agencies, as well as, of course, this research cannot stay with us only. We have to communicate them and share them with the public. So we also join science communication activities like these exhibits that we do in the Philippines so that the people gets more aware of the advantages of the technology. So before I leave this slide, this is actually a point of, I would like to take this opportunity to invite other ASEAN countries to join our effort in studying V2X because as far as I know, V2X has already seen large deployments in countries like US, China, Korea, and Japan. And as far as I know, V2X is not yet largely explored by ASEAN countries. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite our ASEAN brothers and sisters to join us in exploring this technology and studying it so that we can adopt the technology faster. So in conclusion, with these technologies and solutions, we are able to make emergency response faster, but more importantly, we make it safer. And for this, we established that the target objectives is that we have first, we need to have a technology that allows vehicles to communicate and coordinate with traffic infrastructures. And number two, to create a system that integrates everything for information sharing and coordination. And for the solutions, we propose technologies, number one, vehicle to everything or V2X, and computer vision. And also, we propose a centralized platform to integrate everything. Some impacts and outcomes, number one, primarily, we want a safe and secure ERV prioritization in times of emergency. Number two, better coordination in between traffic and other emergency response components, improved economy, and increased welfare for patients. Number three, partnerships with academe and government, as well as our ASEAN brothers and sisters. And lastly, science communication for the awareness of the people. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for your attention, and we now open the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Ramon. All right, questions?
Okay, so thank you so much for your presentation. I'm interested in the measurement like setup. You also mentioned about the V2X device testing in the semi-anechoic chamber. So can you tell us a bit about what is the measurement criteria or the expected outcome from that? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question because, as I mentioned, here in the ASEAN, we have seen limited studies, limited exploration of the technology. And one of the reasons is because there are actually two standards right now, or not standards, but two technologies. One is what we call DSRC, which is based on IEEE 802.11p, and the other one is based in cellular communications, or CV2X. Now, these two technologies are incompatible. And so the characterization is that we want to establish which technology is better in terms of our use cases. For example, in ASEAN countries, do we adopt the SRC? Do we adopt the cellular V2X standard? Or can we make a mechanism wherein both technologies can coexist? So these are some of the characterizations we're actually doing. And if you look at the literature, what you will always see is the comparison in terms of performance. Typically, that's latency and reliability of the technologies. So those are the metrics we're trying to characterize.
We have time for more questions. Yeah, there's one in the back.
Thank you for your presentation. I am Surasak from NICT, Thailand. In the past, I have the experience about the intelligent transportation system. Yes, we have played a lot about the vehicle-to-vehicle communication, vehicle-to-infrastructure communication. Yes, we play a lot, and we can see the advancement in the technology in China and the other in Japan, something like this. But what we finally found is that it's quite difficult to apply, to install any device in the vehicle because the company to guarantee the insurance or something like that. If any device that is installed in the vehicle, the guarantee will be void. Yes, this is a problem that when we try to invent some device that will be help us to manage something, the traffic, to help us in manage the quick response or something like that, we found that problem. So do you have any plan to cope with such problem in the future?
Yes, thank you for that question. Of course, V2X is used to communicate information. But the first step, the more important portion is, what information are you going to communicate? And this comes from the sensor data, vehicle data that comes from the vehicle computer. And that is a very, very valid concern because ambulances, for example, in the Philippines, they are not of a particular make and model. They can be Toyota, they can be Honda or Hyundai, and these vehicle makers have different protocols for vehicular data, what we call the OBD2 standard. And for us, I think what our approach is to conduct measurements, conduct data gathering for each make and model that's available in the country, and then make specific or make relevant algorithms that is fit for that make and model to solve that problem. Just to mention just one last part. Another solution is that instead of relying on the vehicle data, one other solution is to use external sensors. So maybe we can install external sensors that can be standardized for each vehicle.
Right, thank you very much. Let's thank the speaker once more. All right, so our second one is, let's see. Yep, so our second speaker will be Professor Peter Chen, and he's going to talk about enhancing elderly healthcare. Thank you, Professor Chen.
Good afternoon, chairpersons. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Peter. I'm a faculty member from University of Glasgow, Singapore campus. Today, I would like to share with you one of our healthcare research topics, enhancing elderly healthcare service, a higher education initiative for community-driven ICT solutions in physical monitoring and emotional well-being. This project is a pilot experiment from University of Glasgow, and we work together with our counterpart in Hong Kong, together with the support from Microsoft MVP. Before I go into the project detail, Let me share with you a real example. We don't want it to be happen, but unfortunately, it's likely to be happen around us or maybe someone we know about it. Mrs. Wong, an 85-year-old lady living in an elderly home care service. One night, at midnight around 1 a.m. something, Mrs. Wong ran about, asked for some of the service, called for assistance because she is not good in moving. She needs some help to go to the bathroom. So she ran about and asked for the assistance. After 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes more time, no one came. And then likely, as you can imagine, maybe the staff is busy on something else. Mrs. Wong just can't wait, and then she decided to go to the bathroom by herself. So she fell down. She fell down badly, and then she needed to send to the hospital because she had a hip fracture. She needed to stay in the hospital for inpatient care for more than 3 months. It is not surprising to see that languages could be a barrier in the communication process, even that when we speak about the same languages. Our accents, the tones, the speed, and the way we present, we talk, also affects the outcomes of the communications and the results. So let's take a look to the ASEAN country. In this context, we talk about the aging populations. Countries in Asia Pacific, Europe, or many other places having the same issues. For example, Japan has 28.4% of the populations aged 65 years old or above in 2020. This number will just keep rising and up to 38.1% in 2050. And the other country, Singapore, take an example, for citizens aged 65 years old as well, has increased from 11.1% from 2012 to 80.4% in 2022, and go up to 23.8% in 2030. One of the main focus for this project is we aim to help places that take care of the elderly, no matter if it's some of the home elderly service or your home as well, if you have some of the older adult. Like to assist the living facility, and they would like to have the better service through technology. To make this happen, we also work together with the colleges, schools, and local groups to create and use ease of the ICT solutions. Now, we want to take a look into another issues, that is elderly caring for the elderly. Yes, to elderly. These issues relate to the economic workforce. Based on the statistics from our research counterpart, the need of the caregivers in Hong Kong in the year just 2022 is talked about 56,000 manpowers. But for these numbers, actually there are 20% of the manpower shortage just in that year. So you think about this, how do we feel about this gap? And when we take even a closer look to the age who are the caregivers, actually the average years of the ages is 55 years old. And that's why we talk about elderly caring for the elderly. We need to think about how to fill this gap for this shortage. And that's why ICT is a good place that we think about these questions. We started this project by testing in a few chosen nursing homes. These homes have agreed for participation because basically they don't have this technology. So in each of the locations, we are setting up a new ICT nursing core system. And the caregiving staff will be trained on how to use. While the system is being used, that is the end users press the bell and ask for help, that is a waiting time. For this waiting time, the traditional method is just you ring the bell and then you wait. But right now, we would like to provide some more interactions, just because benefits for all this Gen AI today. With voice recognition techniques, system try to identify the user. Who are they? The user identity. And the urgency of the situations. Because in our system, the end user try to speak what they are looking for, what kind of the assistance they need. And then the system will recommend an appropriate caregivers in terms of the time availability and the location's proximity for this help request. We will keep track about the things like how quickly the caregivers respond to calls from the residents, or how often they need to step in to help, and whether there are not some of the mix-ups in the communications. As what I just said, sometimes language, even we speak about the same languages, accent may be another problem. We will also talk to both of the staff and the residents to see how happy are they, and see what kind of the system can be improved. And eventually, one of the goals we would like to resolve is sometimes low manpower ratios is equal to increasing the workload. That is some things we don't want to see. By our field study and analysis to the actual work done by the caregivers, we find out that the caregivers can be more productive in terms of the time spent and the usage. By understanding correctly the command, the service needed by the end user. Trust. In order to improve healthcare monitoring in this elderly sessions, okay, we try to use the technology mixed with the smart computing techniques. To detect when someone falls, we rely on special computer programs that can learn and understand the complex pattern in picture and sequencing over time series analysis. These programs can include tools that can remember information and spot the change in the movement. When analyzing some of the movement signals, we use some of the traditional methods that turn time-based analysis data into frequency data so that we can accurately identify whether or not this one is someone in need. The EC healthcare system is crafted with predictive and analytical capabilities by integrating data from the nurse call system, IoT devices, and healthcare records. Our goal is to deliver a mobile, personalized service and elderly home care. Personalized is a key word. We aim to assess health status accurately by their personal record, of course, by the consent with the end user. Tailor-made the individual service plans and minimize both the service and diagnostics time. And that's why when personalized service is able to do it, we can apply this not only in the elderly home service, but in your home if needed. In this January, our research partner, one of the Microsoft MVP, Mr. Yijo Cho, collaborated with the Hong Kong Society of the Aged, which is one of the elderly service providers operating 29 service centers in Hong Kong. We conducted a feasibility study of this project. A key highlight of this initiative is the introduction of this nursing call system. And here is some of the testimonial from this service provider. We envision that these cutting-edge technologies will significantly enhance the social service sector by streamlining communications between clients and caregivers in nursing homes, thereby ensuring timely and efficient care. By integrating the technologies into elderly care, daily operations can be transformed to increase responsiveness and reduce potential workload. For the goal, we aim to create a safer and more attentive environment for the end users in Southeast Asia. In order to maximize the impact, we do some statistics. We aim to achieve a triple win situation, not only win-win, but triple win. Firstly, ensure that elderly users experience improved response rates from caregiver. That is what I said. When you pass the bell, it's not just only a waiting, but some of the interactions and the response will be given by the system. That is the first point. Secondly, talk about the workforce, talk about the economic considerations. We would like to have our manpower, use their time and efforts more appropriately. That's why we would like to enhance the caregivers' productivity. And interestingly, and it is a fact that at the very first beginning, when we do this survey, I also think that we get some of the incorrect number, We talk about the satisfactions. So in this survey, in this pilot experiment, while we get a surprisingly high number of 99% of the satisfactions in this home nursing system, At the very first beginning, just like what I said, I also don't believe these figures, And then we try to take it out, whether or not we did some wrong computations. And interesting enough is that we eventually find that the user is really happy about this, okay? I'm going to elaborate, okay? Don't understand me, okay? I'm going to elaborate. The reasons, the underlying reasons that why 99% of this pilot experiment, okay, the end user is happy about it is, if you heard about a technology acceptancy model, which is one of the literature and the theory talk about that why a user actually loves certain kind of the technology. So you know that we have different kinds of mobile, we have some of the Apple, okay, Android phone, Samsung, LG, okay, we have lots of the brand names here, okay. So why you choose brand A but not brand B? That is an interesting question, and that is fall under the theory of the technology acceptancy. And that's why funny about this, 99% of the end users, no matter they are the caregivers or the end users, the elderly, okay? For the elderly side, they say that we are happy because eventually the nursing home installed a system that have certain response. In the past, we just ran about, we don't know when people will come, we just know nothing, okay? Because there's no responsive system, okay, for the old system. And that's why the end user happy about this. They get interactions, they got response. And for the caregiver side, why they are happy about this is because they finally can prioritize what is the task they need to do first. So the impact for this project is, on the society level, the introduction of the integrated monitoring system will significantly boost the safety and well-being of the older adults by reducing the likelihood of the fall and other needs. It's very lucky that our pilot projects already get some of the winning and recognitions in the Asia Pacific. And then the outcome is, we hope that by having this kind of the development, okay, a more safer and our manpower can be used more wisely in a better prioritized economic activities. So in conclusions, we would like to invite all the Asian country partner brother and sister, if you would like to know more about this, and if there's a room for collaborations, yeah, we can talk about behind the scenes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter. All right, questions for the speaker? Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Peter. I was very interested with your first Mr. Mrs. You know, you mentioned about 85 years old. Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Mrs. Wong. I would like to ask something outside the ICT topic.
Okay, yeah.
If
I can, yeah.
Because it is very interesting, at least in Indonesia. I would like to know if that the nurse do not come on in time because she's not there, she's going to do shopping or whatever, or she fall asleep because she got drink too much beer and so on and so on. Can she be criminalized? Just like if you drink on the street and you get someone accident and you can be criminalized. Can the nurse be criminalized because of this? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, for this one, I would like, first of all, thank you for your comment and questions, okay? And I would like to add some of my viewpoint on this is, well, actually, one of the difficulties and challenge in our project is not talking about how to implement this, but actually about the project design, okay? And if my memory is correct, we also have some of the discussions this morning about the use of AI, the capability of machine learning, the availability of the IoT devices, all about this, okay? And actually, one of the very difficulties right now is we spend quite a number of time not in IT, not in ICT, not in computing science, but talking about the management process, the business consideration, and the most important is the legal implications. Whether or not we can design the project in this way or using some kind of the IoT devices, talk about the reliabilities. Because when we are talking about some of the sensors, like the spell system or something like about this, okay, we need to concern about the medical standards and some of the compliancy that fit into different regions. And that's why, I totally agree with you that some of the situations can be as difficult as just what you mentioned, but in an overall plan, yeah, maybe in the overall planning for the business side and the legal compliance would be more challenging compared to the ICT side. Yeah, that is my comment.
I think we have time for one very quick question if somebody wants. You can still ask. All right, so in that case, thank you very much, Peter, for your talk. Thank you. So that brings us to the conclusion of this session, and the next session will continue on ICT for healthcare too. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry, I thought there is another the last presentation in the last session. Now, in session 6 is the second session on the topic ICT for health and welfare. We will have 3 presentations, and before the next break, the first presentation. We welcome.
Excuse me, sorry, there's been a mistake.
A mistake.
Someone is sick, but we were wrong about which person it was.
Very sorry.
My apologies.
It's my mistake. Well, I was told that the third presentation is not going to be there. Very sorry. I'll get you back in 16 minutes. So we do have a third presentation. And, all right, so our next speaker is Mr. Van Can Tran, and he'll be talking about transforming cervical cancer diagnosis in ASEAN with AI-powered telecytology screening and training system. Please go ahead. Thank you. Sorry about the mix-up.
No worry. Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Khánh Trần. So I'm representing from the Institute of Applied Science and Technology from the Thái Nguyên University of Information and Communication Technology, Vietnam. Today, I introduce our project titled Transforming Cervical Cancer Diagnosis in ASEAN with AI-powered telecytology screening system and training system. So this project addresses the significant barriers to cervical cancer screening in ASEAN by enhancing the diagnostic accuracy, speed, and accessibility through the AI. Now, let's dive in. So, cervical cancer is breasting healthcare in ASEAN with high rate of incidence and mortalities due to the limited early detection, exacerbated by the shortage of trained cytologists. Our project aims to overcome these challenges by implementing an AI-driven telecytology system. This system will help bridge the gaps in diagnosis capacity, ensuring accurate diagnosis even in remote and underserved regions across ASEAN. So our project target, we have defined 3 primary targets for this project. The first, build an AI-powered system to improve diagnostic accuracy and access to cervical cancer screening. Second, addresses the shortage of skilled cytologists by developing a structured training program to upskill the healthcare professionals. The third, facilitates a regional collaboration in ASEAN by establishing the telecytology network for remote diagnostics and knowledge sharing. So our proposed methods is structured around 5 core components. The first one is data collection and curation. The second one is developing a deep learning model. Third, integration with parks, structural training and continuous educational programs. And the last one is about the data cytology integration. So for the first component about the data collection and curation, our data collection process is collaborative effort across the Asian medical centers, focusing on gathering the cervical cytology images to capture the diverse pathological cases. For the data curation, includes annotating image accurately, and so for the AI training. We have been building an online label platform where cytologists can label cervical cancer abnormalities, ensuring high quality data for the AI model development. As a result, we show here, we annotated around, we just show here the most 5 abnormalities with around 15,000 cells, annotated cells. Okay, the next for deep learning model development, to enhance the diagnostic accuracy, we implemented several deep learning models beyond CNN, convolutional neural network, transformers architecture with transfer learning and ensemble learning techniques. This performance allows for more consistent and reliable diagnostic results, even in challenging cases. And here for structural training program, our structural training program leverages the AI to improve the diagnostic accuracy of less experienced doctors, okay? Less experienced doctors, you can see that with AI assistant increased acumen levels in diagnosing, for example, LC, HC, and SCC, and overall average when compared to the experienced cytologists. For example, doctors with only 1 year of experience saw significant improvement, reaching near expert agreement levels in detecting abnormalities. This training component is crucial for upskilling cytologists and expanding diagnostics capability in the region. The fourth component about the integration with PAC. What is PAC? PAC is picture achieving and communicating system which is integrated with to streamline the image storage and retrieval, crucial for large-scale diagnostics. PAC's integration enables easy access to images, allowing for efficient image processing and retrieval within our AI-driven system. This integration also reduces the cost, making it an affordable solution for medical facilities with only limited budgets, enhancing the accessibility to the high-quality diagnostic across ASEAN. And the last one we show here about the component of data cytology and remote diagnostic. The data cytology extends the diagnostic capability to underserved areas by enabling the real-time collaboration among the Asian medical professionals. The system supports remote reviewing, annotation, and reporting of cervical cytology images, which allows the healthcare providers to make informed decisions collaboratively. This technology facilitates the knowledge sharing and diagnostic support among the experts across the region. In the screen, we show our medical groups in grouping together, sharing some general comments about the images. Okay, for the scientific and technological impact, the AI-powered data cytology system represents a significant advancement in healthcare by improving the speed and accuracy of cervical cancer diagnosis in low-resource settings, automating the image analysis by reducing the human error, and supporting early detection. It also provides a substantial training solution for cytologists to address the workforce shortage in the region. For the societal impact, the proposed AI-powered telecytology system will improve the access to cervical cancer diagnosis in underserved areas, facilitate the early detection to reduce mortality rates, enhance the women's healthcare outcomes across the ASEAN, and empower the local healthcare professionals through the structural training. For our collaborative impact, the project promotes regional collaboration in ASEAN by creating a telecytology network for knowledge sharing and consultations among the healthcare professionals, encourage the public-private partnerships to enhance investment in healthcare, and support capability building to develop local expertise in AI-based diagnostics, thereby reducing the dependency on external resources. So here is our outcome for scientific outcome. Our project will produce an AI-powered telecytology system that advances the cervical cancer diagnostics, offer adaptable technology for other cancers, and contribute to scientific research through publications. For societal outcomes includes creating the publicly available cytological data set for global AI research, setting new standards for AI-assisted diagnosis, and enabling technology transfer to industry, which promotes both the adoption and innovation in healthcare. The project will establish long-term regional and international partnerships, create a telecytology network for knowledge sharing and collaboration, and train a new generation of AI-skilled healthcare professionals, strengthening healthcare innovation across ASEAN. So, in conclusion, actually it means I already updated now the slide, but now okay, no problem. In conclusion, our target is to enhance the cervical cancer diagnosis in Asian countries by implementing AI-powered telecytology screening system, addressing the shortage of trained cytologists through the training programs, and facilitating the region collaboration via telecytology network. And in conclusion, our AI-powered cytology system rests on three pillars. In our experience, we rest on three pillars. The first pillar is the digital cytology, which enables the digitization of cytology images, transforming the traditional slide-based methods into the accessible, annotated datasets. The second pillar is about the AI model development. We create accurate models using the advanced deep learning techniques. And the third pillar in our system is the PACS integration, which centralizing the image storage, retrieval, and sharing to facilitate real-time consultations. So this project represents the transformative step in cervical cancer diagnosis across the area as Asian country, bridging the gaps in access and expertise while building a strong foundation for regional collaboration. So thank you very much for the attention, and I'm happy here to answer any question, and we look forward to discussion and collaborating with us on how can we continue to improve the healthcare together across the Asian country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions from the audience? We have a question there, I guess. Yeah.
Well, which slide?
Accuracy.
This one?
that accuracy, precision, recall, or
No, this one is F1 score.
F1 score?
Yep.
Because I think that is for some kind of cancer. If it's false positive, some kind they are not cancer, but it's predicted as cancer. So it's quite. So it's just.
No, actually, yep. Thank you very much for the question. So actually, we have many kind of evaluation metrics. For example, accuracy, precision, recall, and the F1 score, which is balanced between the precision and recall. So this one we show here, the F1 score is most reliable more than the accuracy in this task. And yep.
Is this 76% is
yeah,
enough?
yes, also it's percent on.
Is it enough?
So that's why just we evaluate our system by two evaluation metrics. The first one is automatic matrix, and the second one we use the human. Yeah. Actually, here we show that with AI assistant, the doctors with very less experience. Just for example, we take here the doctor with only one experience in cytological cervical cytology, can improve their confidence, their diagnostics result, which comparable to the doctor with 5 years experience.
Any other questions? Yeah, there's one there.
Oh, thank you for your presentation.
Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay, I just a little bit, not in my opinion, from in my experience from my coworker, I think yeah, this project is quite important, but the problem is the data. So I think it's a good idea to call for the collaboration from the in not only in the Asian country, but because we need the expert to make the corpus to train the model or something like that to improve the accuracy. Just my opinion and my comment. That's all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, in our proposed we here is our component. We just mean that our proposed system lay on 3 pillars. The first one is about the digital cytology, which engage, which involves a lot with the hospital and the doctors, which have experience because in that pillar, doctors can help us to annotate the data accurately. Yeah. The second one we based on after having enough data, we bring to the second phase to build AI models. And after we have a model and the data, new data, we can make by integration with the parks, we can make it online. So every doctor, and even the patient can check their image, and also kind of diagnosis. Yeah. So the professionals from the other areas in ASEAN can contribute their discussion, their comments on the cytological image online. Yep.
We have 30 seconds. Very quick question.
All right.
Very quick answer.
I'm assuming that you are just focusing on image processing based analytic, right?
Yeah.
It's based on the image.
Sorry?
It's just image processing, right? I mean, using AI to analyze the image from pap smear or similar. Am I right?
Yeah. In this work, we use a tin pap, and we use LVC technique to for the first one, specimen processing. The doctors, our professionals use there are two kinds of processing the specimen image via LVC liquids and the pap smear, and we use the most modern one, more accurate than the traditional pap smear.
All right, so there is no DNA-based or maybe visual inspection image that you use here?
In this, you asked about the number of specimens?
No. I mean other techniques, for example, DNA-based screening or maybe visual inspection screening.
Okay. Just
sorry, Mr. Chairman.
So sorry for
It's
this
all
time.
right. Quick answer,
okay.
and then we'll be done.
Yeah, because each phase comes from our partnership doctor. So they share that for the first time, because we do not have the kind of the micro automatic micro to capture a whole slide. So that's why we have by manual, we have to capture by layer by layer. So we across the specimen and capture by picture, and we merge.
And just a suggestion, a quick one. When there are works being done on a remote village where you don't have PEPC or anything, you can just use a handphone, look at the cervix. You can develop an AI to enhance the cervix so that at least the doctor remotely can do some kind of a prior, pre-diagnostic kind of thing. Just a suggestion. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. With that, we'll conclude. Thank you very much, Dr. Tran.